Hello everyone, my name is Joe, and as you can see I'm playing the World of Warcraft today. Why am I playing the World of Warcraft? As it turns out, I've actually been playing WoW off and on for as long as there's been a WoW. I actually was in the launch and played for years and years, and it was fun, but there were dry spells where for whatever reason, well, I can pretty much guess the reason. Blizzard Entertainment has these dry spells where they go years before they add content to this game. Ah, and I know what it is. I mean, well, all right. This is just my theory. Blizzard has a finite amount of artists, programmers, and whatnot, and chooses not to hire more. They want to get by with the ones that they have. So for anybody who played the World of Warcraft and saw Cataclysm, we saw basically an expansion that was phoned in because they simply reskinned all the same models and moved a few things around and called that an expansion. And because they were diverting those artists and programmers and game developers off to Titan, their secret game, whatever that is, which did so well that the project leader for Titan had to be dismissed, and basically it's still in development, and at this point, if it ever launches, they're not going to be able to sustain a subscription-only model. Too much competition. Although, at the time of this recording, WildStar is getting ready to launch with a subscription-only model. Of course, they worked really hard on that game. It is very polished. I'd be curious to see how it turns out, and I'm still not convinced that they're going to be able to support themselves on subs only. What will probably happen is what we saw with Star Wars: The Old Republic, where they were subscription for a while, and that allowed them to cover development costs and recoup all of that for their investors. And then after those costs were paid for off of subscriptions initially, then they went free to play. Now, to their credit, Star Wars: The Old Republic did offer benefits for the players who did subscribe for that first year that it was not free. So now that they have an in-game store and it has in-game currency that they dole out based on the number of months that you subscribed, they went back and credited the players that had subscribed over the year and basically gave them a backdated allotment of coins for that store. So it was as if they were earning coins all along. They just got them all at once. So that was very nice. I play Star Wars: The Old Republic still to this day, and I really like the way they do things in terms of, they're an example of how you can make free-to-play work and make it profitable. Terra is another one that does that very, very well. WoW, on the other hand, well, let's see. We have this in-game store. It has stupid things in it, like, oh, look at this. Let's just pay $60 and boost this character to 90 instantly. Yeah, stick a hot poker in my eye. I'm one of those purists that believes you should actually play the game, because then you end up with people level 90 with characters they don't know how to play, and the whole idea of it was that they would learn how all the abilities worked as they leveled up. They'll sell you a bunch of useless pets. Granted, now they actually can do something in the little pet battle system, so if you're into the Pokemon thing. And I'll admit, this character here is specifically for farming. I picked a low population realm that, boy, the combined total of active users is less than 1,000 for both factions combined. Specifically so I'd have a realm to run around on that is part of BattleNet, where people are not likely to bother me, where maybe I could finally get the time-lost Proto-Drake. Maybe. So, this character is just a farmer. They'll sell you mounts, but look at this. 25, 25, 25, 25. You know what? I got a bajillion mounts for free anyways. I'm not going to pay money for these things. And here's the sad part. In the old days, we used to have raids, and you would earn a really flashy mount showing that you had worked hard. You had leveled your character, you'd gone through all the content, you'd been part of a team, and, a big 10, 25, or 40-man raid, one mount would drop. And it was like a very low percentage rate, so you might have run the raid 100 times before you ever saw the mount drop once, and only one person got it. So you were really proud to display that mount and its nice art, And here now you can buy mounts that, well, this one in particular, this one here, well, this new one here, they basically put more into the art than what you find in the raids. So, well, cheapen that. Yeah, now it's just, pay to look cool. Instead of pay to win, though, it's really pay to bling. But I think paying for character leveling is bad. Blizzard punished other people for years for buying pre-level characters. Hey, as long as you buy them from Blizzard.
I don't have a target.
Oh well, it's a sign of the times. They're trying to figure out a way to recoup the losses of subscriptions and to keep their profitability up. Well, more content? Yeah, just saying. There's another game that I play that has a really interesting take on content, and that is Star Trek Online. And Star Trek had some problems when it launched. Whoops, oh, I'm supposed to be looting these guys, I'm not even paying attention. And so Star Trek Online had some little problems with content, so they thought to themselves, how can we take care of that? Aha, we'll make it so that the users can generate content for our game and be able to put it in there. And so they have something called the Foundry, and the user-generated content is often on par or even better than some of the stuff that's in the game. Now, granted, because it's user-generated, sometimes it's below, too. It's kind of hit or miss, but when you find one that's made by another player, especially somebody who really is into Star Trek and is very consistent with keeping their thing in tune with the lore and everything. It's like this little gem, and you're like, wow, this is so much fun. Let me tell all my friends, and it makes the game that much more enjoyable. And you never run out of content because people are always creating stuff for it. Oh, and then one other thing Star Trek Online does that I really wish Warcraft would consider. You know that all the expansions for that game, the dollar costs $0. The idea is that you keep subscribing, or you keep buying things from their online store. The content is just handed to you to keep you interested. You shouldn't have to pay for the game license, pay for the expansions, pay for monthly service, and then still go to a store where you pay for mounts. And
You wish to speak?
it's starting to leave a bad taste in my mouth, Blizzard.
Farewell.
Just randomly clicking things. All these quest givers want to give you things, so you just have to pick something. So as I said, I created this character solely for the purpose of farming rare pets and rare mounts. Since in World of Warcraft, they have made vanity pets in particular and mounts account-wide items. So if this character happens to come across anything that I didn't have, it's immediately available to all my other characters on the realms that I normally play on. Plus, this becomes kind of like a nice little relaxing realm to get away from things on. So, sadly, some of the realms that I do play on, or will have played on, are afflicted with drama. So this is a way to take a little vacation from the drama and just enjoy some relaxing leveling and exploration and finding things. Hey, who knows? This character might finally get the Lore Master achievement. And this little piggy died. This is an example of how heirlooms, well, kind of unbalance the game. I mean, I'll go through here, and this is basically a cow terminator who's going to just mow down everything and be really overpowered. But at the same time, I sort of earned it because I grinded all this heirloom gear. In fact, I grinded this stuff back in the days of Justice Points, so this is old stuff, and then upgraded it to be able to be level 85 now. Or not Justice Points, it was medals. It was a really long time ago.
How may I aid you?
That's right. I got all of my gear right before everything
We
was
shall meet
converted to
again.
Justice Points only.
Farewell.
Because a friend of mine tipped me off that they were going to make the conversion, and I should hurry up and spend all my medals, because once they made it into Justice Points only, everything was going to get super expensive. And this is back in the Wrath of the Lich King days, and so I went out and bought a full set of each kind of gear, and now I get to enjoy those benefits. Oh, and why is it a Tauren, namely a female Tauren? Mostly because I have lots of friends, women that I know that play WoW, or they did. I'm waiting to see if they come back for the Heroes of Draenor expansion, and they all play Taurens. Girls seem to like Taurens, and being a guy, I just prefer to stare at a female character for hours on end. It's a guy thing. I mean, granted, the character is not real and has no semblance of resemblance to a human woman, but because men are simple, and I'll admit it, you look at WoW and basically we just put boobs on any kind of thing and give it an hourglass figure, and presto, people want to play with those. Every once in a while you'll get flack from someone who's like, if you're playing a female character, there must be something wrong with you. I'm like, okay, well, by that logic, there is something wrong with everyone who played Tomb Raider, because it was sold mostly to men. Let's be honest. It'll be nice to express up to level 10. So the good thing is that with the heirloom gear, at least I'm stacking all this bonus experience. See, here we go. What is it? Oh, plus 10%, plus 10%, plus 5, plus 10 more, plus another 10. So it'll help with leveling. So I won't have to go through quite the drudgery, even though I'm completely new to this realm and this is my only character. So I can just blast through all of this stuff and go off and start grinding my mounts and my pets. Oh, I gotta choose something. Let's see. I'll just choose that. Hey, level again.
Sun shine upon.
The one thing that I can say that was, I think, a bad decision, this is just me commenting. Anyone who played WoW for a long time, generally had a good time. And until Cataclysm, the phoned-in expansion. And, what really got me about that is that they trashed so much content that I enjoyed. And it didn't occur to me until one day when a friend of mine asked me, he said, what is the appeal of that game? Because I tried it and it just seemed boring, and all the cool stuff you told me about wasn't there. And because I was, playing up the bit about the great stories and all kinds of other stuff, and a lot of the stories and dungeons that I enjoyed are gone, or they've been gutted. You look at Wailing Caverns. Alright, granted, it's a big, huge dungeon, or it was, and you would wander around in the dark, but I got to know that place like the back of my hand. I loved it. It was like a little mini raid, to help prepare you for those types of things in the future. Now, with the Dungeon Finder, people are like, go, 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 man, go, 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 and they want to skip everything, get their drop, and jump right back into the queue. They won't speak to you, they won't cooperate. Heck, I didn't even like it when the meeting stones were introduced. Back then I was playing a warlock. In those days, everybody loved warlocks because they could summon, everyone to the instance. So you always had to have a warlock with your party. It was just kind of a requirement. When the meeting stones came out, now all of a sudden nobody cared if there was a warlock or not. But they got really lazy really fast and refused to show up. Let's see, I know I have to drink this. Whoops. Oh, he must be next to him. Wonderful. This is another thing I hate. The game assumes that you're too stupid to be able to walk from here. Oh my gosh, to over there, I might get lost. I mean, there's such a wilderness between us. So you get this taxi ride to go to the next village. In the old days, Here, I'll put on my old man persona for a moment. In my day, we ran until level 40 and we liked it. And in the very old days, Taurens didn't even have mounts. They simply ran everywhere with an ability called plains running. So, now we just kind of give everything to everybody. Heck, we even give them a ride to the next place because we figure out they're all too dumb. Blizzard, if you keep doing this, if this happens and it gets worse in the next expansion, this might as well be a console game. It just takes up a lot of hard drive space. And pick your class and button mash to victory.
Spread. Be careful. Farewell.
Okay, since I've made it to the next town here, I'll go ahead and park it right here, but I'll throw up a video from time to time, and we'll see if my little farmer here is able to find some good things here in this realm. On the plus side, it looks just as underpopulated as all the things I read about it seem to indicate. So, if you're antisocial like me, you can always look on the realm population list, and there are a few of them from different companies that are always auditing the realms, even though this is in complete conflict with the Blizzard EULA, which stipulates you're not supposed to mine any data from the game, blah, 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 blah. They do it anyways. And yeah, if you ever see that one character who's always standing in a capital city, never seems to be doing anything, just standing there, that's somebody mining data. Oh well. So here, we'll see if I get lucky and finally get myself a Time Lost or one of the other mounts I've been looking for. Hooves crossed.